the agendas in front of you. I'll start off straight away with apologies for absence, Mr. White.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. We've got apologies from Councillor Ridges and as leader of Council, Councillor Jewellery for this afternoon's meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Just to remind you all that when you're speaking, to turn your microphone on, because it links into the streaming. We may hear each other in here, but we can't hear anyone's listening in. Item number 2 on the agenda is declarations of interest. Members are invited to declare any personal or disclosable pecuniary interests, including the nature and extent of such interests they may have, and any items to be considered at this meeting. Do we have any declarations of interest? No? Doing well so far. Item number 3 is items requiring urgent attention, which we have none. So go straight on to item number 4, which is confirmation of the minutes of the meeting held on the 29th of June 2021. These have been circulated. Is everybody in agreement?
Mr. Chair.
Okay, they are agreed. Which takes us on to the main item of this agenda, which is the draft statement of accounts and draft annual governance statement 2020-2021. And handing over to Councillor Evans.
Thank you, Chair. The report asks the Audit Committee to note the draft statement of accounts and draft annual governance statement for the financial year ended the 31st of March 2021. The accounts look back over a year dominated by the pandemic. In her narrative statement, the Section 151 officer, Mrs. Buckle, says that when councillors set the budget for 2021 in February 2020, no one could have foreseen how our future finances and everyday lives were about to be impacted. In response to the pandemic, increased budget monitoring was undertaken throughout the year and a revised income and expenditure budget was agreed by Council in September 2020. The impact COVID had on the Council's financial budgets is clearly evident in the analysis of budget variations on page 9 of the accounts, or page 19 of your agenda papers, which show that the income shortfall from sales fees and charges income was $840,000 for the financial year. However, this figure was partially offset by compensation received from the Government Income Guarantee Scheme of $436,000. The Council also received a total of £826,000 of COVID-19 government grant support, which includes leisure support of $453,000 to the Council's leisure provider. The net result of all the budget variations is a reported underspend of £75,000 for the financial year, which has been transferred to unearmarked reserves, which now stand at £1.294 million. As a consequence of the underspend, the Council is not needed to use the £133,000 underspend from the 2019-20 Statement of Accounts as agreed as part of the amended budget for 2020-21. Earmarked reserves have increased by £3.957 million, but this includes the business rate compensation grants of £2.61 million, which will be released to the collection fund to smooth the impact of the business rates deficit over the next 3 years. Section 4 of the report highlights a further impact of COVID in respect of asset valuations. Due to this unprecedented set of circumstances, asset valuations are reported on the basis of material valuation uncertainty. Although the annual requirement to measure the Council's 4 investment properties at fair value shows a net gain of $826,000 as at 31st of March 2021. Turning now to the annual government statement, which is at Appendix B. This contains details of the Council's annual self-assessment of its compliance with the 7 core principles of good governance, together with an action plan setting out arrangements to secure continuous improvement in the areas identified from the Council's system of internal controls. Grant Thornton are currently auditing the accounts, and they will present the findings to the Audit Committee, along with their audit opinion on the accounts, on Tuesday the 28th of September. By way of a summary of the Council's financial position, I've lifted this sentence from the